Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, so say Steve Reed from the Associated Press. Good to see you and congratulations. Welcome to Carolina. Hey, you were the first running back taken off the board, and it was kind of a late, a wait before the first running back was taken all the way to 46. You surprised at that? And what does that feel like to be the first running back taken also?
It's truly a blessing. Just a blessing from God for me to be able to be in this position. For Him to put the ability for me to do what I do, in myself, and then just for me having my faith in God, having trust in God, and just doing it for my family and friends, and just knowing that I earned this moment. You know what I mean? It wasn't given, and I don't take that lightly. So it's truly a great feeling right now.
Do you feel like running backs might be maybe a little undervalued, or people are currently undervaluing running backs?
I guess the league and all the fans will see this year. I feel like I do agree that they are now. As a running back class in this class, and just in the NFL and the league, I think a lot of people are going to start showing why we should be uh, held to a higher standard. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Jonathan, Mike from the Charlotte Observer. Congrats on your selection. Welcome to Charlotte. I was curious. Ian Rappaport had reported that you were scheduled to be cleared probably around July for training camp. How is the progress going with the knee, and how confident are you that you will be able to take part in training camp?
Honestly, as far as rehab goes, it's good. I'm out there I'm running. I'm about to start cutting, so I'm progressing well. I'm right on track on where I need to be. For me to get back to camp, it's also just a blessing. I feel like this injury is a blessing from God. Just being that it gives me a chance to focus on a lot of other things. You know what I mean? As bad as it is, it's the best case scenario. I just only tore my ACL, and it was a complete tear. So, it's great. I can't wait to get back out there, and just can't wait to keep playing football.
What do you know about Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders, two guys you're going to join the backfield with?
Right. So I've done a lot of research on them. Because I took a visit there, and honestly, that was my best visit. I like the coaching staff and everything. So I looked up. The city of Charlotte is great, and those two running backs, those are two good running backs for me to go in there and learn off of. They've been in the league for some years, so it helps me. It helps me like ask them because they have knowledge of the game of how it's going to be, and it'd just be a great learning experience for me as well. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Chris Jenkins, followed by Mike Lissette.
Hey, Jonathan, Chris Jenkins with Charlotte Vibe. Congratulations. General Manager Dan Morgan talked about wanting players with that dog mentality. Are you able to hear me, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't see you on the screen. He talked about having wanting players with that dog mentality. Could you share what it means to you to have that dog mentality on the field?
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna respect you until you earn that respect. And for me, I played football my whole life, so you know what I'm saying. I know that you got to have that dog in you for you to be like the alpha on the field. You know what I mean? Like you got to go out there and just play you. Don't let nobody get under your skin, and just what I'm saying, have a little swagger about yourself.
Is that how you would describe it, and how it influences your game particularly?
Yeah, and it's just a mentality. Especially for a running back, you got to have that dog mentality where you don't want to get tackled, run through people's face, be able to pass protect, hit somebody in their mouth, and have a little talk smack after too.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Michael Smith from Food City News. I'm kind of surprised to hear you said that the Carolina trip was the best because Jerry Jones was raving about you. Thought it was going to be Dallas. What about Carolina made it such a successful visit for you? What did you vibe with talking with Dan and Dave?
It was just the vibes of the coaches. Like you could just tell it was a different type of vibe. I like the plan that they had set for me. And that they said a lot of great things from their player development. And just the whole coaching staff as a whole. I got to meet some of the players that were really like welcoming, and I wasn't even a player yet. You know what I mean? And so, truthfully, I just can't wait to be in Charlotte.
What do you think about your game will impress people here when they watch you for the first time at Bank of America Stadium?
So like for me, it impressed me. I've been working on my body this whole I guess you could call it off season. For me to get stronger, upper body, lower body. Still learning the ins and outs of the game, and just really trying to perfect my craft off the field as much as I can by watching film.
Thanks, sir.
All right, let's go to Joe Person, followed by David Newton.
Hey, Jonathan, congrats, man. I'm with the Athletic here in Charlotte. Wanted to ask you, you were in the midst of pretty much like an all-American season when you went down in November. What were your emotions like? Because you were a guy that had to wait a couple years for your turn in Austin.
I waited my turn. I have my trust in God. And I think it was good for me to develop my body and just learn behind two great backs. And I think that was the best thing for my career. And truthfully, just, for this season, I like being out there with my teammates. We were battling. We went through all the stuff every day in the off season. So they made it a lot easier for me by trusting in my teammates, my O-line, D-line, team as a whole. You know what I mean? Really just trusting everybody, and it just means a lot.
How tough was that personally, when you got injured? And then I have one more for you.
I'd say when I got injured, I'd be lying if I said my mind didn't go everywhere. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen instantly, but about a day or two after, my mind got right. I was praying to God, having long talks with God, talking to my agent, coaches. And honestly, like it's truly just a blessing for me to still be in this position with my knee. Just like I said, God had a bigger plan for me. And I trusted him. I continue to have my faith in him, regardless of what circumstances I went through.
And the last one for me, did you think the Cowboys were going to take you? I know it was their surgeon, I think, who did your surgery. Were you picking up that vibe?
Their visit went good. Did I pick up that vibe? I don't really know. It was pretty cool though, for me to take those visits and to get to know the coaches at every team I went to. But I would say I'm just really happy to be in Charlotte.
Hey, Jonathan, David Newton, ESPN.com. You're a very, very explosive player. How would you describe your style and what you bring to this team?
So like I'm just elusive. I'm a back that's I'm not going to be the fastest on the field, but I'm going to make you miss. I'm not going to go down on the first contact. And then for me, it's just like you said, being explosive, catching the ball in the backfield, being able to pass protect. Really just making myself a 3-down back. You know what I mean? Trying to stay on the field as much as I can to create the most value for myself.
Yeah, I think you had like some crazy number of making guys miss before the injury. Anybody kind of model your game after? Or?
I try to model my game. It kind of sounds biased with Bijan. Just being behind him for 2 years and seeing how much of a great athlete he is, and then seeing what he did at the next level. I try to perfect myself after him, just because he's, he makes people miss as fast. He can catch the ball. He can do a lot of things.
And I also want to ask you, you said you're on track. Everything's where it needs to be on your rehab. So you're saying you will be ready, or you think you'll be ready for training camp?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Just want to make clear. Thank you.
All right, we got time for a few more. Let's go to Vashti Hurt, followed by Jack Taylor, and finish up with Mike Solarte.
Hi, Jonathan. Congratulations, Vashti Hurt with Carolina Blitz. I just wanted you to go further into detail. You mentioned that you liked the plan that the Panthers said that they had for you. Can you go to a little bit of detail about what they said that plan is and what that looks like in your role?
Right. So as a the running back coach, he talked on, we had a long meeting with him. He just talked about like football, myself, how he thinks it would play out and things like that. And then they had me sit down with their physical trainers and their rehab people. They had a plan set that they knew what they were talking about. They knew exactly where I was in my rehab. And they told me, like, if I was there, this is what they'd be doing. If I get there, if they draft me, this is what I'll be doing. So, it gave me a sense of stability and confidence in them, knowing that they knew what they were talking about, just having a plan for me.
So the plan was more regarding your recovery.
Recovery, yeah, basically recovery. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Jonathan, Jack Taylor with WCCB Charlotte. Congratulations and welcome to Charlotte.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Obviously the Panthers mantra is keep pounding. What does that phrase mean to you? How do you feel like you emulate the words keep pounding?
Keep pounding for me, like, what I'm saying, like, keep running the ball, keep doing what you got, like, keep pounding the ball. You know what I mean? Just keep running the ball and do what you got to do to win games.
And then, do you go by Johnny? I see that in your Zoom title there.
Oh,
do you
yeah,
go by Johnny?
That was just
Jonathan?
old. I go by JB or Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan, Mike Solarte with Spectrum News One. Congratulations on being selected. The fact that Carolina traded up after, kind of shuffling in this second round, they identified you as a guy they wanted to ship 3 picks to Indianapolis for you. How does that make you feel? And is there a certain amount of pressure that comes with that?
I mean, there's pressure with every down of football you play on whatever level it is. You know what I mean? For me, it really means a lot. It means I appreciate the level of confidence and trust they have in me to trade up those picks and get me. I can't wait to get there, and it's a blessing to be able to be where I'm at.
And just as a follow-up, you are now another out of a long line of Texas Longhorn running backs that have made their way to the NFL. What does it mean to be a part of that lineage? Because there are some big names that have come from Austin that have gone on and had great careers.
Right. Just watching them while I was there, watching the history of running backs. That's why I went to Texas, because of the history of running backs that they produced. And they got me right, and I appreciate all of them. Even the old dudes come back and they're around the facility, around the game. So you talk to them a lot, and they just have a lot of good feedback.
Thanks very much. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan.
Is that it?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all for y'all's time. I can't wait to get to know y'all more.
Appreciate you.